You're watching Ride the Teacups, and we just watched Prop Culture. So Prop Culture is a documentary series. At the time of this recording, there's one season, including 8 episodes, where prop collector Dan Lanigan goes around all of his different favorite Disney films and animated features throughout history and starts finding the different props and the backstories and some of the history, and actually reunites a lot of those artifacts and stories with their creators. So the art directors, the set dressers, the choreographers, the actors, directors, things like that. He actually goes and interviews them, brings them back part of the history that's been part of their lives for the longest time, and you get to see the cool reactions and learn great Disney history about some of your favorite Disney features. So what did we like about Prop Culture? There is a lot to like here. Dan Lanigan is the host. He is actually a prop collector. That's been his passion. It's really neat to see his passion and what he just loves everything about come at you as far as Disney history. His sincerity and honesty and just real drive for this. It's obviously what he loves doing, and it really just comes through the screen in a great empathetic way. I don't have any idea how old he is, but I imagine he's close to my age because all of the movies he grew up with are the same movies that I grew up with. And the thing that he loved and remembers are the same things that I love and remember. So I get the feeling that as far as age, we were kind of on the same path on that one. So maybe that comes through a little bit extra for me. Lots and lots of fun to watch. It's also really cool to see how they've spaced everything out. So each episode of the documentary focuses on a different Disney film. So you have things like Mary Poppins and Tron, and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Nightmare Before Christmas, just so many, 8 different shows. The Muppet movie is inside of there, Pirates of the Caribbean, lots of different shows that are in there, and he takes each one and really just gives it very carefully cultured care as far as how it is that he splits everything out. For example, he actually reintroduces Christopher Lloyd to the judge costume that he used to wear and gets to talk about the film. Lloyd can't help but at least put on the hat, and he clearly loved that persona, and really just, you could see it in his face how it brought everything back. One of my favorite moments of the show was they did an episode on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They actually brought several different artifacts from Rick Moranis' character, who played Dr. Zelinsky in the film, and brought them back to him and got to see, again, the reaction on his face from seeing these things for the first time in a long time, hearing his story and just his version of what it is that happened on the set and the fun that they had making it. And it's such a joy to see Rick Moranis on the screen. Rick Moranis has actually been, I don't want to say in seclusion, but he's been very intentionally out of the public eye for decades. He very specifically retired, and that was it. Really hasn't been seen in film and TV since. He said, he's open to other projects, but he really hasn't done anything really major since, like the 80s and 90s films that he's so well known for. And it was really nice to see him, talk about his past and just kind of reflect on a lot of his projects, especially Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I really like Rick Moranis and his story. Go do some homework on him. His focus and the reason why he retired is very cool. It's all about family. And of course, at Ride the Teacups, we're all about family and making sure that families enjoy time together and make memories together. That's clearly what he's about too, so it was neat to see that. And even things like Mary Poppins, they introduced Dee Dee, who was the choreographer for Mary Poppins for both the Penguins and the live actors, and you got to see how that interacted. You get to see it from an animator's point of view also, but they brought back a prop that she specifically said she would love to see again, and they brought it to her. And you just got to see just all of the memories flooding back. I am amazed at how many actors, when they're presented with their old costumes, with their old props, they just look at it and they actually say, several of them say, hello, old friend, as though it's an actual living thing. It's amazing that so many of them do that, because these were parts of their lives for so long, and you just get to see everything coming back. And again, the emotion really comes through. It's very empathetic. It's very cool to hear the extra stories from behind the scenes of these Disney movies that we all grew up with, as well as getting some extra insight and really connecting to the people who made the film in a whole new way. What did we dislike? It's a short list, guys. There is not much to dislike here. I watched this with my 5-year-old, and we'll get to this in the review score in a little bit. He thought, "Daddy, this isn't any fun." And then I explained to him what it is that he's watching, because he's watched, we started him on episode 1 on Mary Poppins, and he's watched that. And so I got to explain, like, look, this is how that movie that you loved so much was made, and these are the people who made it. And that man, Richard Sherman, he was the one who wrote the music for it, as well as for like all of your favorite Disneyland rides. And you're watching him play that music right there in front of you. And suddenly he was really engaged. So the pacing may start a little slow, especially for younger kids. But I mean, that's it. Like, I was trying to write notes for things that, I like and dislike and all that stuff as I'm watching. And my dislike pile for the entire series is empty. I liked it. So let's get right into the score then. Should you watch this with your family? And I'm going to give this a solid 2 out of 2 teacups. Absolutely, please watch this with your family. It is behind the scenes of classic Disney magic. As a Disney family, we really enjoyed this, and we'll be watching more as an entire family. I've watched the entire thing, several episodes, multiple times. My kids have watched a little bit, but we're going to sit down as a family and really get into a couple of these and really enjoy that time. There's nothing offensive in it. There's no violence inside of it. There's no language inside of it. There's no questionable content really at all that I come up with. It's great family fun going through Disney history. And then should your kids watch this by themselves? I'm going to give this a cautionary 2 out of 2 teacups for should your kids watch this by themselves. Again, there's nothing questionable or objectionable really in the content at all. And once my 5-year-old understood what it is that he was watching, he was really entranced and really enjoyed the entire episode. And the reason why it's a questionable 2 out of 2 is if your kids just don't like documentaries, or if they have something else that's going to hold their attention longer, they're not going to be into this. But there's no reason to feel any hesitation to let your kids watch this thing. And if they make it all the way through, great. And if something else grabs their attention, I mean, whatever. But nothing's stopping you from having your kids watch this. My kids have an absolute blast. And does this have Disney magic? And I think this is a resounding yes. This hits all of the feels as far as my Disney nostalgia. It does. It's amazing going back to the old films, especially getting to see even more behind the scenes on Tron. They brought back an entire costume that the character Tron wore inside, and being able to see actually technologically how they went about including the blue glow and the red glow and all of those things, especially in early 80s, was really, really cool to see how it is they went about that process and how the actors dealt with everything. Just really, really neat to be able to see. So yes, very Disney magical. I guess that's a grammatically correct sentence. I don't know. Yes, this has Disney magic. It definitely gets our point for that, which means Prop Culture is getting a perfect 5 out of 5 teacups from us. It's the highest score we give out. I wish I could give it more. This is fantastic. Watch it and spend your family night time with an episode. You'll be set for 8 weeks if you watch this on Friday nights. Do it and come thank me later. What was your favorite episode of Prop Culture? I want to know down in the comments what your favorite was. Even though I went through a lot of history, my favorite one is probably the Pirates of the Caribbean. I just binge watched all of the Pirates movies also, so I'm kind of in that mood anyway, but I really loved going on location and seeing a lot of the locations they picked out and how they went about putting together the land in addition to, just the props and the costumes. So that was even more above and beyond what's already a great series. What's yours? I want to know. Hit me down in the comments. Let's chat about Prop Culture. Thanks so much for watching our Disney Plus review. We hope that it's been worth your time and earned a like right down here, that big thumbs up button that you have right below the video. If you want more reviews and things that we think might be worth your family night time together, click right here for our next review. If you want more just about Ride the Teacups and what we do, we like helping people enjoy Disneyland magic at the parks and at home, right here. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, we would love to get to know you, make you part of the community. How about right here, right above my head. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time we ride the teacups.